The many tortures of Ian Watkins. As we all know, the pedophile piece of shit Ian Watkins had his throat slit in prison and ultimately bled out on the ground. With his case and all that he's done, I mean, it's no surprise that he was murdered. However, before that, he was tortured, stabbed in the face with a broken, dirty, shitty toilet brush. He was a mule. His friends, his family, anybody involved with anything were being extorted. His visitors, they were making him bring all types of contraband up in his prison wallet. At one point, 3 inmates held him hostage for 6 hours. Literally, for 6 hours, they beat him until he agreed to pay a certain amount of money. Now, you say, why did they do this to these chomos? They don't kill them. Why didn't this happen sooner? Because, for one, they're going after everybody. Anybody and everybody. And people say, that's fucked up. Why do they go after the families? Okay, so this is what's really fucked up is when you do what you did to babies and just children and animals, just sick motherfucker with the parents, the mothers of those babies. Well, guess what? You have now put your entire family, every one of your friends, your fans in danger. There are no more victims on your side of the playing table. That's how it's looked in prison. It's like if somebody child was hurt, right? But you couldn't get to them, but you found their twin brother. Think about it. And that was your only way to be able to protect your kid by making some type of statement. In prison, what they say is if I can't get to him, I'm going to get to the next of kin. And they'll have them all paying. But really, what it is, it's more of a power grab. If you're in your cell and they just beat the shit out of you and they're saying, look, you're going to bring these cell phones in. As he was caught with 2 cell phones in 2018 and 2019. And they added 10 months to his sentence. However, and they show you your family, your visitors, they have the Cash App, and they're saying, look, send it. Now imagine you're in an institution, you've been beaten, held hostage, everything possible, and stabbed in the face with a broken toilet brush. And they come to your cell and they say, look, this is your people, your family, what's up? Are you gonna pay this or not? They also load up the cells with drugs on these chomos. Not because, okay, you're gonna be the whole man so we won't beat you up. It's the opposite. 3 things happen. 1, they want to get them knocked off so they get out of protective custody and have to go to a high custody unit with no type of protection. 2, if they have money, they're going to force them to pay for every single thing, even though it wasn't his fault, and they're the ones that probably got him knocked off because you have the money. So what they'll do is they'll tell the officers, look, I'm going to put all my stash in here and we're going to load it in there. We're going to pay the money. We'll split the money with you. You can hit them up. You can write it up as you got this much. Just give us back our shit. We'll give you the cash. Just make sure you put them in this unit. These things take years. In prison, nothing works fast. Yet, the prison justice, when I see people write, well, why did it take so long? Why did this happen? Because people aren't operating in the world you live in. If that was the case, we could say a lot about injustices that happen out here. How come nobody stood up? How come nobody did this? Because in prison, it's very Machiavellian in there. So let's get into what happened to him in prison, the tortures, the extortions, the beatings, the stabbings, into his death. But first, I'm going to start with his case, and it's very graphic. So I'm telling y'all, it's fucked up. Let's get into it. The case against this piece of shit. In 2012, Ian Watkins, the frontman of the Lost Prophets, a platinum-selling band with millions of fans. Yet behind the fame, he had fallen into meth, cocaine, and heavy drug addiction. Not an excuse. He's a chomo. He was and always will be. Well, not anymore. He was still active online, using social media, chat rooms, and fan sites to contact female fans. By September 2012, police executed a drug warrant at his home. They found hard drives, laptops, phones, and memory cards. When they examined them, they discovered indecent images of children, videos and recordings, acts involving minors, messages where Watkins and female fans discuss abusing infants and sharing images, and the most lewd, disgusting videos of animals being abused in the worst way. By December 2012, he'd be arrested. Conspiracy to rape a child, conspiracy to sexually assault a child under 13, making and possessing indecent images of children, possessing of extreme pornographic images involving animals. The role of the 2 women involved. The 2 fans were also arrested and charged. They were both the mothers, and evidence showed that Watkins persuaded or encouraged them to involve their own children in sexual acts so he could watch and receive recordings. In other words, he used his fame and manipulation to get access to their infants through them. I don't like that. No mother, no lioness would ever even consider that. They were already fucked up in the head, period. It's one thing to pay money to take a picture with Chris Brown. This ain't, you're a demon of hell already. And evil finds evil and makes more evil. By 2013, he no longer said he was not guilty. The coward, chomo piece of shit did not want any of this to be played in court. So he pled guilty to attempted rape of a child under 13, a fan's baby. Conspiracy to sexually assault the child, engaging in sexual activity with a child, possession of indecent images, possession of extreme pornography with animals. To understand why he was tortured, extorted, his family was extorted, his friends and everybody around him. Because look, these are the people that he calls friends, right? They found this. Additional material showed messages and plans for other meetings in which he encouraged the women to abuse their children while he directed or watched remotely. That's why he finally got his throat slit and bled out on the prison floor. The mothers also pleaded guilty. I wouldn't even call them mothers. The demons also pleaded guilty. They admitted to allowing or attempting to allow abuse to their own children under Watkins' influence. Nah, ain't no influence. There ain't a fucking real woman in this world that could let any human being make them even have this thought. They would kill that person before that was even a thought. Each received long prison terms, one for about 14 years, the other for 17. Of course, the judge says this: the offenders were all corrupted by drugs and celebrity, and that Watkins was the driving force who manipulated the others. Nope. Listen, I understand money doesn't change you. It just makes you who you are to the highest level. But being a mother does change you. It makes you the ultimate protector. It changes everything about you. I've seen so many women become the most beautiful mothers, change their lives, and they will never even let anyone come near that child. So I don't believe that bullshit. So this is when they first started to extort him, at least documented. After his sentence in 2019, Watkins was convicted of possessing an unauthorized mobile phone. It added 10 months to his sentence. He was found to have a concealed phone. That he went to a 2019 court appearance. He described himself as incarcerated among murderers, mass murderers, rapists, pedophiles, serial killers, the worst of the worst. So, I mean, you're the worst of the worst. So you're right where you should be. Why is it the pedophiles, the predators, always become the victims in prison? You notice that? They were extorting him. They saw he had a lot of visitors coming in, so they were making him load his prison wallet up with all types of cell phones and contraband, bring it in the cell, and he'd have to pay that. Plus, he was paying for protection. His family was. And that's when he started to say his family's not going to pay anymore. They're running out of money. And this happened next. Watkins was taken hostage by 3 inmates inside of the prison. The men reportedly attacked him over a drug debt. He allegedly owed $900 for synthetic K2 spice, the demon smoke. He was stabbed several times, including in the neck and torso, and held for nearly 6 hours before prison officers stormed in using stun grenades, riot shields to set him free. He would survive, but insiders said he was left paranoid, isolated, and constantly moving cells for protection and living under threat. Yet, everything would catch up to him. So what they do is, they beat you, they extort you, they go after your family, they stab you, they poison you, they drain everything dry. When they think you might have a transfer coming or something might be changing, that's when you die. I mean, they'll put bleach in the toilet bowl, stab you, and hold your face in there until you agree to pay that. And then tell you, hey, call his family. Have them hear your family saying, yo, we have to send the money. It's okay. We'll send it now. It's crazy, right? But I don't make the rules. You hurt children. This is what you bring onto the world. You want to bring out this energy? You want to hurt women and children? Well, guess what? You brought this into your world now. Except they're not going to hurt women and children. They're going to extort your family, extort you, and anybody who comes to see you or supports you, because in their mind, they feel like they're supporting a pedophile. And then once they feel they've broken you enough, taken enough from you, and things are just not going to work anymore, they're going to cut your throat. As on Saturday, October 11th, 2025, Watkins was stabbed to death in his prison cell. He was ambushed and had his throat slashed after inmates were unlocked from their cells in the early hours of the day. The attacker slashed his jugular, causing Watkins to die from blood loss. The officer would say Watkins has been killed in the most brutal way possible, and the attack was shocking even by prison standards. Just remember that the whole time he's making music and doing all this shit, the whole world's cheering him on, he's over here just doing the worst of the worst to babies. It's not drugs, it's not celebrity, it's not money, they're demons. And just like all cowards, all demons that hurt women and children and babies and animals, when they get to prison, they're crying, playing victim, getting extorted, getting killed. Stay out, stay free, us.